Hi guys, welcome back to Etheric Tide. This is Lauren, and we got a slightly different pick a card this time. This is a random pick a card for love. So all of the readings that I'll be doing today will be specifically for love, whether you're in a relationship or not. So if you've never done a pick a card before, the best way to pick whether you're attracted to card 1, 2, or 3 is to close your eyes and breathe, feel into it, and maybe a number will pop into your head, or you'll just be drawn to a particular one. And if you're not sure, just watch all of them, and whichever one resonates best is the one for you. So let's start off with those who chose number 1. Oh my goodness. Well, this is well and truly a love card. So the 2 of Cups is about sacred union, 2 people coming together. This is either a marriage, or we've decided to make it official. Maybe we've gone Facebook official. This is going to the next step. Maybe we're moving in together. And it feels, and it's in the upright, so wonderful. So it's completely equal, and it's solid, and it's stable. It's like that great balance of both emotion as well as so all of those heady emotions that are associated with new love, but also the solidity of what can come with that as well. Because, so for example, if we're dating somebody and there's all of those really high emotions, like especially in those first few months, the honeymoon stage, let's say, you can really get swept up in, I guess, the romance of it. But when it comes to the moment where things need to become a little bit more serious, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually like a deepening of the connection. And sometimes when we're moving in from like that honeymoon stage into having to live together and have to mix in all of our, let's say, boring day-to-day life stuff, like maybe dating is fine, but then now suddenly you have to reveal to that person all of the ins and outs of your daily routine that are usually hidden from the other person. Like maybe your morning routine is a little bit like strange and very different to theirs. Maybe they're more organized, whereas you just kind of just go with the flow, and it clashes in some way. So it's kind of like the rose tinted glasses might be revealed, but it's not actually a bad thing. It's a deepening of a connection. It's deepening seeing the person as a whole person, not just for those incredibly good qualities that we tend to present to someone before they fully get to know us, like during that dating stage or those early stages of a relationship. And even though they seem like they're the boring parts, they have the potential to create a different type of love. I think like in the Greeks, there's 3 different types of love. There's like romantic love, where we first meet someone, it's very chemical, passionate, and yeah, all the oxytocin is flowing, and it's just like a whirlwind of addictive happiness. And then we have the next set of love, which is the deepening of a connection of a partnership, which I think is what this card is. That is that second type of love that we're talking about. It's not quite the Lovers card. It's not the what is it? The Cups, the the Knight of Cups. Yeah. So it's not the Knight of Cups. It's not the Lovers. This one is where we're bringing all of ourselves to, like, see in this particular card how we've got 2 people, and they are, I actually like to say that they have swapped cups. Like, this is my cup of love and I'm going to trust you with it. I'm going to trust you with it. And they're like, okay, here's my cup of love and I'm going to trust you with it. And we're going to drink together. So that's what this is. So don't be scared of maybe some of the more boring aspects of relationship. This is just moving into like a deeper love. And I'll just quickly mention that third love that the Greeks were talking about is the love and compassion for all mankind. Like, it's a general across the board of compassion for mankind, that type of love. So that's for those who chose number 1. Number 2. Oh, okay. Oh, we're in a place of incredible indecision here. Oh, okay. So maybe we're torn between two choices. I think this is for people who are extremely fearful of having to go to that next level of actually being in relationship with someone. I think that this is for somebody who is in extreme protection mode, may even sabotage their relationships. Like, yeah, it's fun at the beginning, like they kind of come in, they can kind of do those first few dates and yeah, they can have fun, but the moment they're like, oh, I kind of like them, but I'm not 100% sure. They have all the aspects that I guess are good, but I'm resistant to it, or I'm hesitant for some reason. There's something missing and I'm not 100% sure. So, and it kind of feels like you've gone on enough dates or you've seen each other enough that it should develop, or you perceive that it should go to that next level, but your body and your heart is kind of like, oh, I'm just not sure. It's not that this person's a bad person, I'm just not ready, or it doesn't feel good to me, or I'm freaking out, I'm in fear mode. Yeah, it's all that sort of confusion. You don't necessarily need to put a time limit on how a relationship unfolds. Honestly, you need to feel comfortable. It needs to feel right in order for you to be able to go to that next level. And communication is very much key in this. So openly communicating with your current partner about how you're feeling about them, how you feel about the relationship. What's your comfort level? Like, everyone has different comfort levels of how quickly they would like to progress in a relationship. And if you're being open and honest about, this is where I'm tracking, this is where I feel comfortable, this is how I feel about it, and at least that gives the other person a starting point on how they need to react, and to be able to reflect, who knows, maybe they feel exactly the same way. Maybe they are going through the exact same turmoil of, I feel like we're moving towards something deeper and that kind of scares me a little bit and I'd love to slow down. And maybe you both actually feel the same way. And getting that out in the open might actually allow you guys to connect more in a non, pressurized way. So maybe this is the thing that actually allows you to go, oh, we can breathe. Like, we don't have to adhere to any specific formula of how a relationship needs to be. It's whatever is right for you and for me, because nobody else is in this relationship but us, so we may as well keep each other happy, and that's the point. Keep ourselves happy, keep the other person happy, doing it together. Look, like, relationships and love it's meant to be fun. Like, you definitely go through challenges, but overall it shouldn't be torturous, Love shouldn't torture you. So being open and talking about what you're going through is going to be the key. And I think if this is what you're feeling for this week, yeah, communicate that with your partner, and you might be surprised what comes of that. And I mean, if it turns out that you feel this way and they don't feel that way at all, isn't it worth getting out in the open? Because otherwise you're going to have somebody that's pressuring you to go faster before you're ready, and that's just going to scare you, and it's going to actually trigger all of those protection mechanisms, and you might even start like pulling away and acting really distant, and maybe even a little bit like dismissive to the other person, just because you're like, oh, I'm freaking out and I feel like I'm being too pressured. And then they may feel rejected, and they might have their own protection mechanisms around rejection. This is usually the case. Usually you have someone who is a little bit more anxious, and you have someone who's a little bit more avoidant. You guys love the crap out of each other. These relationships are really, really common. Like 50% of all relationships are anxious and avoidant, to different degrees, of course. But if you go into that avoidant, it will... and it'll activate their more anxiety out of them, and then you'll become more avoidant, and so on and so forth. So it's better you just get it out in the open. That's how you get a healthy relationship. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 3. Oh, fabulous. So I'm glad this is in the reverse. This is the 10 of Wands in reverse. Okay. So I'm feeling this is, okay, for those who chose number 3, you've had it up to here with dating and relationships and how difficult it is and trying to make things work, and it's kind of like you're done. You're over it. For the single people out there, you're just like, you know what? I'm just not going to try dating anymore. I'm going to embrace being single because I'm sick of all of the shenanigans that go on apps. I'm sick of all of the game playing or people ghosting and pulling you along and breadcrumbing and all of like those juicy, wonderful, fun things that happen when we try to date. And like there's a bitterness that's kind of built up. It's like every time I actually like someone, they don't really like me, and they end up pulling away and finding someone else. Or and then the guys or girls that do like me, I don't like them. I find them boring, or I'm just and then the more they like me, the more I don't like them. It's just yuck. Just it seems like so difficult, and let's just not try. I may as well just focus on what I've been doing this whole time and forget all about it, which is kind of a good thing. Like in some respects, it's good to just go, okay, I'm not going to put so much pressure on myself to find the one, and I'm just going to focus on the things that are good for me. Now, I'm just going to tweak this this mindset just a little bit for you, that rather like taking on that bitterness associated with dating, it would be more helpful to you if you took more of an openness to love, not a bitterness towards love. As in like, oh, it's not going to happen because it always turns out this way. More so being curious and excited to see who is just going to step into your life. It's kind of like that anticipation of, I'm enjoying my life right now, and I'm going to focus on the things that already bring me joy, whether it be my friends or creativity, my job, passions, hobbies, exercise, anything that brings you personal triumphant joy, personal growth and joy. And I'm going to focus on that, but I'm not using it as a distraction because I secretly really, really, really just want to have an amazing relationship. Because like we can say we don't want something, but secretly we do. Secretly we want it, but we resent that we can never have it. And that is a recipe for not getting what you want. So you're better off accepting that it's inevitable. Curious to see how the universe is going to bring it to you. Get in anticipation of how amazing that fun connection is going to be. And don't put pressure on whatever gets brought in front of you. It doesn't have to be the one. And if you're you're focusing on things that bring you personal joy, you get in the right energy to attract somebody who resonates at what you're resonating at, which is someone who is like, look, I'm open to love, I'm secure within myself, I'm really happy with how things are going, and somebody's going to see that and go, yep, I want a piece of that. So that's for those who chose number 3 today. I hope you guys have gotten some good guidance from this, and if you would like a personal reading, you can go to www.etherictide.com. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like the vibe of this reading, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.